I'd like to call the Proctor City Council meeting for Monday, November 1st, 2021. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Perform roll call at this time. Councilor Benson.
Present.
Councilor Reuter.
Present.
Councilor Johnson. Councilor DeWall.
Present.
Mayor Ward is also present. Elect all others present: Attorney Bray, Administrator Rich, Ted Kiefot, Chief Gaddis, and Megan Jordan. Looking for a motion to approve the City Council meeting minutes from Monday, October 18th, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Councilor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? I just have a correction, a couple corrections. Under new business, letter E, declaring surplus, was brought to my attention. It says SEBA units. It says spell check error with the computer system. And then under members' concerns, I also had boys and girls. It says cross-country teams, but it was soccer teams were playing to go to state. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda. Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Councilor Benson seconds the motion. Sorry, I was told to move my mic somewhere. Councilor Benson seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, hopefully that's better. Right now it'll bring us to comments and suggestions from the citizens present or watching via YouTube. The public comment and suggestion period of this meeting is when the City Council offers a time for everyone in attendance or watching from home to address the City Council. Once we move on from public comment and suggestion period of the meeting, members of the public will no longer be allowed to address the council unless the mayor acknowledges you. As a general rule, the council will listen to all comments but will not comment on or respond to any comments by speakers. The council will not engage in dialogue. However, any councilor can ask questions. If you'd like to address City Council during public comment and suggestion period of the meeting, please come forward to the podium or call 218-628-6289. Before you begin, please state your name and address for the minutes. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the City Council will be prohibited from using obscene, profane, or threatening language or boisterous conduct that disrupts the meeting or the security of the public. Is there anyone at this time that is interested in participating in the public comment and suggestion period of the meeting? We'll give that a minute or so to see if anyone calls in. Hearing nothing at this time, we'll move on. Looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Reuter. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Counselor Benson.
Thank you. Under committee reports, D, planning and zoning, and in planning and zoning under 5A, they talk about a shopping container.
Are you asking to pull this?
No, I'm just had a
discussion?
question to see if it needed to be pulled. And I didn't know if it was shopping containers or shipping containers.
Attorney Bray, were you?
I was there. I think we were talking about shipping containers.
Shipping containers.
Shipping container.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do not pull that, though.
It does not need to be
Okay.
pulled, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other discussion regarding the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That will bring us to 4A, beautification update. Administrator Rich.
Thank you, Mayor. The Beautification Committee has been active. Based on their recommendations, the street crew removed some rose bushes around town that were becoming hard to maintain and kind of overgrown. So that has been done. The front garden, if you haven't noticed, has been cleaned out and ready for some spring ideas. And then today we put a call out for someone to take care of the Emmy Honorary Memorial Garden up by the train. Jim Schwartzbauer has been taking care of it for many years, which we thank him for, but he'd like to hand it over to somebody else at this point. So we're hoping to get a volunteer to do that. And then everything is on task for seasonal decorations to be put up by the Habermans.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Administrator Rich on the beautification update? Hearing none, we'll move on to 4B, playground for everybody update. Administrator Rich.
We have closed out the CDBG grant, so we've submitted all the necessary paperwork, and the reimbursement has been received already, and that was for $50,000. So we are into the project. It is definitely scheduled to be on task for spring.
Does anyone have any questions regarding the playground for everybody? Hearing none, we'll move on to 4C, floodwood agreement update. Administrator Rich.
I just wanted to update the council that the city of Floodwood has been billed for Proctor Police Services to date. They have a meeting once a month, so they take just a little bit longer to pay their bills, but we are up to date on the billing.
Thank you. Is there any questions regarding the floodwood agreement? Hearing none, we'll move on to 4D, Speedway building demolition update. Administrator Rich.
As you recall, you approved using some funds to help Speedway demo a building, beer concession storage building. We've been working with them. The street crew believes that they can do the demo. They just asked that the building be emptied, the electricity disconnected. We checked for asbestos, and then the plumbing be, if there is any, be disconnected before the city crew comes in. So we're kind of waiting on Speedway to do that. Hopefully we can get it done. The goal is to get it done before the crew gets busy with snow plowing. If that's not the case, then it'll have to wait till spring.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the demolition of the Speedway building? Hearing none, we'll move on. That'll bring us to 6A, legal services, request for proposal. In your packet was a request for proposal along with a schedule for our professional services for the following few years. Right now it looks like we'll be RFPing for legal and prosecution. I know earlier this year we approved a new ordinance regarding RFPs throughout the city's professional services. So 2021 legal and prosecution, 2022 IT phone and cameras management, 2023 audit, 2024 plan mechanical and control systems, and 2025 engineering. So we're just looking for a motion to approve that schedule and put out the RFP for legal and prosecution services.
So move.
Councilor Johnson made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Sent by Councilor Reuter. Any further discussion?
Well, Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Benson.
how were the items selected for, engineering, auditing?
Yeah. Thanks. I expected that question. To be quite honest with you, our finance director is only like 1.5 audits in because she came in the middle of the audit season the first year. And so she's gone through one complete audit service with our current service. So we felt that best to maintain some consistency with the auditing firm until she gets her feet on the ground with the city audit. The plan mechanical and control system, we just entered that agreement with Johnson Controls, so that is a young agreement to begin with. And then finally, the engineering, we are in the middle of two large projects with our engineering firm. So legal and IT and phone cameras management made it to the top of the list.
Okay. Thank you.
Were there any other questions or discussion regarding the RFPs? I just had a couple, I guess. On the RFP draft that you sent, and I realize it is a draft, but on the bottom right corner, it says page 1 of 9, 2 of 9. It goes to page 7 of 9, but there are no 8 of 9 or 9 of 9.
Thank you.
And I read this a few days ago, but I thought there was a mention about supplying a 3-year agreement or pricing. But according to the schedule, I'm guessing it would be every 5 years. Do we want to make that change as well?
That could be up for council discussion, but yeah, I see where you're going with that.
And then as far as the turnaround for the RFP, I believe the date was the end of this month to have their RFPs in. Is that a quick enough turnaround for firms to get their RFPs submitted?
I would think so, if we can get them out right away after it's approved.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have. Any other discussion from council? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Motion passes. Bring us to 6B, Resolution 34-21, designating a polling place. Every year we got to establish designated election polling place, whether we're holding an election or not. This year, our Resolution 34-21 is designating the Proctor Community Center in Proctor, Minnesota as a polling place for all 2022 municipal elections. Looking for a motion to approve that resolution.
So moved.
Councilor Reuter made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 6C, Proclamation Girls Soccer. In your packet, I put a proclamation in to recognize the girls' high school soccer team, making it to the state tournament for the first time since 1999. Looking for a motion to approve this proclamation.
So move.
Councilor Benson made a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. 6D, proclamation for the boys' high school soccer team. They also made another trip to the state tournament, first time since 2010. Looking for a motion to approve this proclamation.
I'll make that motion.
Councilor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second?
Go ahead.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Motion passes. 6E, I put in a memo regarding the Mayor for a Day essay contest. I know last year we kind of piggybacked off the League of Minnesota Cities and did our own essay contest within our school district, looking to do the same this year for grades 4, 5, and 6. And I'll send out emails, if approved, tomorrow to all the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade teachers in the district, making them aware of this if their students are interested. I'll make a motion to approve the essay contest for Mayor for a Day, if there's a second.
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Am I going too fast for you? Okay. Sometimes go too fast. Just holler. Brings us to 6F, resignation letter from Chris Claddy, the Grandview Golf Course manager. Chris has been managing our golf course for the last 5 years and has decided that he no longer wants to do that. So we're looking for a motion to accept his resignation letter. And I'll make a motion to accept that resignation letter if there's a second. Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? I would just like to thank Chris for the last 5 years. I think he's done a great job up there at that golf course, turned it around and started making profits on it. So thank you for that and job well done. Any other discussion?
I would just like to say that Administrator Rich and I walked through the golf course facilities and equipment, and Chris was very kind to come over and tell us all about it, and we took notes and everything, and
Good. Thank you for doing that.
yeah.
I just wanted to say, after reading your letter, nicely done, and certainly encouraged about the future of the course.
Thank you, councilors. Any other discussion?
Do we talk about, after we accept this, the next step at this time or not?
I don't think we're ready for that, are we?
Report on my recommendations for the next steps, if you wanted to.
So do we accept this first and then do that, or?
Yeah, we can, well, we can do it under discussion if you'd like.
Sure,
Yeah.
yep. So as Councilor Johnson said, I did choose a couple members of the Golf Advisory Board, along with Councilor Johnson as the council member, and we did go through the golf course with Mr. Claddy and took very good notes. My plan then is to get the Golf Advisory Board back into a meeting and to discuss their recommendations for the council to move forward, whatever that may be. We have gone through the entire business operations, everything from changing over credit card accounts, inventory, equipment inventory, financials, season passes, keys, winterizing. We've talked about the greens being prepared for winter time, website, Facebook, insurance, what employees might be interested in coming back, which ones are retiring, as his letter said. There's still a lot of work to do. Again, his agreement goes through the end of December, so he's willing to help out as much as he can through that time. We'll bring all of this information to the advisory board, and they'll have some discussions and hopefully bring some recommendations forward to you.
Just a, what is your timeline roughly to get this rolled together?
I hope to have the advisory board meet in December, early December.
We have to certify the budget by when? December 5th? That's when we got to certify the levy. Just thinking it's going to be kind of a cat and mouse game, because if we have to apply dollars for this next year, it would be nice to know that before we finalize a budget. I'm assuming we
Yeah.
have the same dollars that we had last year.
And I can talk to Finance Director Brunfeld to see her thoughts on golf course budget.
Is it possible to get the advisory committee together in November?
Sure.
I'm
Sure
just
can.
thinking, and then, then maybe we can put it out for whatever we're gonna do, and
Yep.
and maybe get it finalized by the end of the year?
Yeah, that also gives us time to tie up some loose ends with Chris as well.
Or is the end of the year too late? I'm not really sure.
We'll try to get something together by mid-November.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions regarding that matter? No? All right. We do have a motion and a second on the floor accepting the resignation letter. I'm hearing no other discussion, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Bring us to 6G, Ordinance 02-21, definition of a structure. If If you recall, last meeting, we sent this back to planning and zoning to address all the setbacks. Again, ordinance 02-21, amending the definition of a structure, they struck out "or anything not collapsible." And it looks like they added accessory use buildings with a footprint of less than 30 square feet and up to 8 feet in height are not considered structures, but are still subject to established setbacks. Buildings with this footprint size are an exception to the accessory building separation setback only, and therefore allowed to be placed within 5 feet of other accessory buildings. So that was the changes planning and zoning made per our request. I'm looking for a motion to approve ordinance 02-21.
I'll make that motion.
Councilor DeWall made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Reuter. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Benson.
because this is a change, is this considered a first reading?
We already considered changes in it and discussed them and then put these changes in place. I think we can consider this a second reading.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 6H, pay equity reporting. Administrator Rich.
Thank you, Mayor. As you can see in your packet, we did get a notice of non-compliance from the Office of Management and Budget, the state of Minnesota. And the reason for non-compliance with pay equity is we failed to report. It was discovered that the notice to report was sent to an email address that was no longer operable, nor was that person employed with the city of Proctor. As soon as we received the report, we went into action and we made sure that there were several contacts added to the list. There was only one in the state of Minnesota had for the city of Proctor. So that's been corrected. And then Finance Director Brunfeld, along with payroll clerk Shar Jones, and I went to work on completing the report. So you do need to approve the report for submittal. We do have a grace period, which we are well within. And I have notified the Office of Management and Budget that we acknowledge receipt of the failure to report, that we're on it immediately, and they can expect a completed report very soon within the 60 days.
Thank you. We'll entertain a motion to approve the pay equity report. I'll make a motion to approve that report if there's a second.
Second.
Second by Councilor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That'll bring us to members' concerns. Councilor Benson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Two things. One is Minnesota Power filed that rate request change. It's two parts. One is residential and the other is commercial. And I know that Proctor is in negotiations with their group, and I was just wondering if this will affect us or not.
Probably be a question for...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what rate change you were talking about. You said
Minnesota Power filed a request for a rate change, and I think it's up to like 18%. And I know we were in the middle of negotiations, and I was just wondering if this is going to affect us, because sometimes we're included as a customer of Minnesota Power, and sometimes we are not included as a customer of Minnesota Power, even though as a city we are.
I would have to consult with Puck on that to understand that completely, but I can certainly get an answer back to you.
Okay. And then the other one is with 2nd Street being closed, I was just wondering the protocol with the fire department.
So we just learned of that information today. And our first steps were getting the information out to all the necessary departments that we needed to, including the school and you, so that you're aware. But as as the week develops, I'm sure public safety will talk about it, and the two chiefs will talk about their protocol. But we're well of the situation.
Because I know that, we as the city council will be getting questions.
Sure, absolutely.
And per the email that we received today, I don't know if we all had a chance to read that or not, but it sounded like St. Louis County was in charge of traffic control on that project.
Yes.
Correct, yep. And there's detour signs being put up already.
Thank you.
I can help answer part of that, what we've done in years past, because it's not the first time it's been closed. We'll try to stage, because we have obviously more medical calls and fire calls, and in years past, we've staged a medical vehicle on the opposite side, just so that we have two, so we can keep one on east, one on west. As far as fire, we'll still have to report, but we have Kirkus Street that we can go across if we have to go the long way, St. Louis to Lindahl and back in on Uggstead. So we still have access, it just might add a little more time. So instead of our average of like 2 minutes, 30 seconds, we might be another minute on that or something.
Thank you for that. Anything further, Councilor Benson?
No, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor DeWall?
Nothing.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Johnson?
I have nothing.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Reuter?
I have nothing.
Nothing, thank you. I have a couple things. Just want to congratulate the cross-country girls and boys that qualified for the state tournament. Della Bettendorf, Izzy Harnell, and Josh Knight. And I want to thank everybody who participated in the trunk or treat yesterday afternoon. It was a great event. Lots of kids, lots of families came out. So appreciate everyone's hard work on hosting that thing. So that is it for me. Attorney Bray. Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve the bills. Councilor Reuter made a motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Councilor DeWall made a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you.